Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
Whenever I've been around a vending machine, it's always, I'm never just like peckish with a vending machine.
Right. It's never like a little treat, a little snack.
No, it's never like, oh, I'll have a little M&Ms for $3. It's like, I have never seen food before, and I need this more than anything. And so when it doesn't, my basic needs are deprived, and all I want is this vending machine to just give me food.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. And I have to do a little hit. I feel like every time I've done a little hit to a vending machine, someone is always there. It's like, you just like, the camera pans over and it's just like a custodian, like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Not
like, I installed that vending machine. You're gonna hit it? You're gonna...
I birthed that vending machine. You can't just hit my child.
Yeah. We have a contract for that. You can't just hit it.
But sometimes you just...
Most times you gotta. Most
times. It's not even sometimes. Like, most times, vending machines need a little hit.
It's a faulty bit of machinery, and I don't think we've updated any of the sitch going on there.
No, I think that they stopped making vending machines about 40 years ago.
Yeah, whoever invented vending machines just made a lot in that first run and went out in blaze of glory, and nobody's ever made a vending machine since.
This is, okay, so, but real talk, you've unlocked something in my brain, because I feel this about a few things, but when I feel it very passionately. One, all vending machines were made at the same time.
Right.
No new ones have been made since then.
Yeah.
That is the same with candy corn, conversation hearts, and clothing hangers.
Okay. Interesting.
Specifically, like, the clothing hangers that you get at laundromats.
Like the wireframe ones with, like, the paper over it sometimes.
Yeah, where you, like, drop your clothes off. That's on the laundromat. Sorry. I don't know
dry cleaners?
What a laundromat is. Yes, the dry cleaners. Sorry, I'm somehow wealthy enough to have owned a washing machine that I've never needed to go to a laundromat before, but I'm too poor to have ever gone and get something dry cleaned.
Right, of course.
Weird moment.
We exist.
Just live through. Hi, welcome to the visibility space. But yes, specifically those, the wire ones with the paper covering over it. Those were only made once.
Yeah. And
have just been moving from house to house.
Right.
Those are my opinions that I'm bringing to the space today, and none of them are Twilight related. Hi, welcome into the Twilight.
Hello. Welcome to the Vending Machine Podcast.
Welcome to Into Twilight.
Nice.
We do a little hit. And it's just us talking about vending machines.
Sometimes you just gotta hit machinery in order for it to work.
Right.
This is a podcast of a generation of people that grew up, like, thinking you had to, like, blow cartridges and, like, just shove shit in order to make it work. And that's how we feel about everything now.
That's so real, though. I feel like most of the technology when I was a kid worked best when it had a little hit to it. Because, like, VCR,
right.
Like VHS,
yep,
little components there.
Yeah.
All of the things that went into my Game Boy always needed a little bit of a hit to be able to work. And I think there's something comedic there, but it also just makes me feel really sad for some reason.
Sure.
And I'm not entirely sure why. Yeah. But mainly, you know, like, if we're just leaning into the comedy bit of, like, ooh, that's, like, kinky. I'm like,
oh my god.
You know, sometimes you do just need a little hit. That has to be someone's slogan for a weed podcast, yeah?
You know,
my hands are crossed. I don't know why. I'm like in interview position right now. I said that and I was like, yep, that's my comedy for today. First of all, hi.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I got some tea going.
Ooh.
I'm vibing.
Ooh.
I'm under some blankets.
I hope that you know I am pinching myself to resist saying it. I'm like physically having to resist. And that hurts me, but I know...
Is vibing just like a trigger word now where you're just like, no sounds inside?
Yes.
You just can't.
It's just in my head, just quietly, every time that someone says vibes, I'm just like, yep. No technology, just vibes. We're just vibing. Every time, just slowly, but softly and also quietly.
I think that's worse.
I agree.
How are you, my dude?
You know, YOLO. I don't know where that came from.
You know, I haven't thought about it in a minute, but I guess that still rings true.
Just gonna press my clicker on my PowerPoint slide. The only thing on there just says YOLO. In a really, like, script, serious font.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
I'm fine.
Clearly. I think that's been apparent.
I'm fine. This is, like, completely irrelevant by the time this episode comes out, but I did just want to say that, like, ever since the Oscars happened, I've been, like, violently ill, and I don't know what that means, but I feel like it's connected.
Interesting.
Like, the Oscars happened, which has nothing to do with our podcast, but it happened, and I was, like,
right. It was
fine with it. I'm, like, I felt happy when it ended, and then I got, like, violently sick that night, and I was like, is this what happiness feels like? Or, like, did people say the Joker too many times? Like, I don't know what happened. But I'm good, my dudes. I have a weighted blanket on me, so I can't really complain.
That's a life, baby.
Everywhere that I go, my writer will always say a weighted blanket.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I don't need fancy food. I don't need fancy well, maybe fancy cars. I do like to go fast. Can you imagine me in just a really fast car, just really Tracy Chapman style, but also with the weighted blanket?
Tracy Chapman.
That's what that song needs. That song gives me weighted blanket energy. Is that anything? First of all.
I think we're just doing word association at this point.
Speaking of word association, today's a very important day.
Uh-huh.
For so many reasons. But one in particular. By the time this comes out, Valentine's Day will be over, which, like, sorry for you all, I guess. But
or also I hope it was great.
Yeah. Congrats.
Love is cool. Yeah, congrats. Or get yourself some za. Fucking love yourself.
A Valentine's Day pizza with it's like shaped in a heart.
Yeah, I keep getting fucking ads from Pizza Hut that's like, do you want a heart-shaped pizza? I'm like, Pizza Hut, please.
I'm not allowed to say the PH words in my house. Because of the fact that we don't have one around here. And Chris gets violently upset every time that he remembers that, like, he craves the Hut and it doesn't exist anywhere near us. But he gets ads for it constantly as well. And so I remember, like, a week ago he came home and I was like, how was your day? And he was like, fine. I got another ad for Pizza Hut. And it just makes him so sad. So I'm not allowed to say those words here because it brings bad vibes into that space. So
this is another aside, but did you see that thing today where it was like, breaking, the guy from Pizza Hut did not actually eat 30 to 40 pizzas in a
It is breaking. That's important news that I do want to know.
It was heartbreaking. It was like, man, I mean, he's a bad dude objectively.
For real.
So I think we can all agree on that. But it truly was a bone-chilling interview. So that was my day.
Yeah, that's fair.
Grieving over that.
I don't remember what I was going to say, but it was probably along the lines that today is Taylor Lautner's birthday when we're recording. And every time that I think of Taylor Lautner, I always think of Valentine's Day for so many reasons.
Right.
As you ought to do, I think.
What a film.
I love... haven't watched it in so long, but I do remember that Valentine's Day did make me cry when it came out. So I'm sure it would now. But we got a lot of Taylor-based content, I would say, today.
This is your space.
This is I'm so happy. Hi, welcome to the side podcast within this podcast. It's Taylor Town.
Taylor Town! All aboard to Taylor Town. We're going.
The conductor is Taylor Brown.
Yeah, she guides us into Taylor Town.
She's gonna send me a fucking cease and desist at some point. Just be like, can you fucking don't slander my name?
I will sue for defamation.
Anyways, today's Taylor Lautner's birthday. A couple things that have happened. One, everyone remembers what he looks like with his shirt off, which is great energy for me personally. Yeah. And also, the Twilight Twitter account, folks, we're on to them. Mm-hmm. We've had their fucking number for about 4 years now. But today, in particular, seems a little bit too on the nose. You were the one that pointed this tweet out to me. I was not the first to see it, and I feel ashamed personally, given that it's my due diligence to stay on top of Taylor Town. Right. What did you notice about this tweet that they sent out?
To be fair, a listener added us and was like, oh my god, you have to see this. And I was like, I'm listening. Yeah. And so I pull up twitter.com and I see the official Twilight Twitter account with a fucking moist photo of Taylor Lautner in the rain. Powerful and energy. Saying, happy birthday, Taylor Lautner. We wolf you.
Nice.
Wolf emoji, heart emoji. Hashtag Twilight.
Hashtag Twilight.
And it got me thinking, you know.
I'm gonna get a hashtag Twilight tattoo.
Allie, you can't say that.
Don't dare me. I'll get it. I swear to God.
You fucking hack into our bank account and just...
I'm gonna get a tattoo of a QR code and it goes directly to the Twilight Twitter account. Not even our Twitter account. It's theirs.
Yeah, at least fucking do some marketing for us.
No.
My dear.
Everyone always thinks that my Soundwave fucking tattoo is a barcode, which is not, that's nothing. That's not even how they look. Yeah. So at some point I'm just going to lean to the bit and just get a fucking barcode tattoo that is just a fucking QR code to their Twilight account. Anyways, yeah, this was a connection of worlds today.
Yeah. Real crossover happening.
It felt so Inception to me, like the worlds, the walls, they were all collapsing in on me.
Like we just talked about that.
We did. We just
like
last
2
week.
Episodes ago.
I don't remember.
Whatever. Time is fake. We were all in yurts. It was a different time. Whatever.
Yeah.
We were in yurt life. But like
same.
Do they know?
Do they know us?
Is it one of you? Is it us? I don't know. Are they just making a you joke? Like, are they just trying to cross the streams? Or are they just making a weird wolf joke? I have so many questions. I'm spiraling.
Here's what I want. On our last episode of this podcast, ideally before, but I'll take the end. That's fine. Yeah. I need to know who runs that account, and I need to speak with them personally.
There's an open invitation for them.
Literally always. Take my spot.
Any episode, We just want to talk.
I just want to know about your life. Like, I know that you signed some sort of NDA, but, like, whatever you can tell us, please.
Yeah. Allie wants to know how to get your job. So
Can I just please, I know that would require me to be on Twitter more than I want to or ever, but, like, the power that would hold, I just want to sit in front of that computer like a hacker and be like, I'm in. And then that I feel like would be enough for me.
Yeah.
Personally. All right. We have another Twilight piece here, and then we can start transition over to some pen news as usual.
Hell yeah.
So this is an interesting little bit of journalism. So TV Over Mind, which posted
definitely a real website.
Definitely real, definitely not fake, definitely doesn't have a fucking link on the side that has an Uncle Sam image of saying, we want you to write for us, which is, wow. So this is a listicle about 10 things that you didn't know about Eddie Gathegi. Gathegi is how I'm imagining.
Yeah, that seems right.
And I looked at this and I did not understand why it had anything to do with us. But then, of course, that is the name of the actor who played Laurent. Now, here's my question. And I'm just going to quickly Google this because of the fact that, okay, so it is in fact Eddie Gathegi. Earlier on in this article, they did spell his name as Eli Gathegi. And that is
great.
Not great. One of my favorite things about this, though, is number 3, not number 4. We'll get there. Number 3, which says that he's a huge fan of vampires. And they say, well, not of vampires per se. He's a big fan of Stephenie Meyer's series Twilight. He was cast as Laurent in the movies, but he did not know that the character was a vampire.
How? What was that process like?
I just want to know. I want to know everything about Catherine Hardwicke and her casting director and how they ended up getting this man in, not realizing that he was being cast for a vampire. Okay.
Truly the fact that there has not been, like, an oral history novel or, like, nonfiction book about the process of Twilight the movie getting made is astounding to me.
Do you think that it's one of those things where, like, it exists, but it's on, like, a 10-year... It's, like, in the vault or something?
Yeah. Fucking Disney got their hands on it. They're like, we're locking it away forever.
And you would think that it would have come out last year for the 10-year anniversary, but what I think is that, like, it exists somewhere.
Sure. I mean, it has to, right? Someone along the way has to have been taking notes or talking to everyone involved.
Well, because they did...
what the fuck?
They did those behind the scenes, like, deleted, not even deleted scenes, but, like, they did these little, like, featurettes on the DVDs when they came out. So I know that it existed, but I just I need to know.
Yeah. I want the scoop.
Yeah, so he did not know that he was being cast for a vampire. So what he did to help is that he decided to sit down. They don't say where. They just say he decided to sit down and binge read all of the books at once. Wow. And he now considers himself a huge fan of the series.
Oh my god.
Which is fair when you're, in it for 2 movies.
Sure,
so,
yeah.
Fair.
Ride or die,
Now, do you want to mention your whiplash when you looked from number 3 to number 4 on here?
Yeah, the organization of this particular article is jarring, to say the least.
Yes.
Because number 3, he's a huge fan of vampires, and we get a lovely little blurb. And then just right below, half a centimeter down, number 4, he was depressed.
Yeah. It'd be like that.
Yeah, listen. That's a relatable duality that we are familiar with here.
Exactly. Like, I don't even know that they need to be mutually exclusive so much as that they would, of course, be intertwined.
Loving vampires means you are depressed. That's what
I've been saying. Someone invest some research into that, please, and also thank you.
Right. I can't wait for us to get called in for studies.
Honestly, if it's like I could use $20. Just like hook me up to something.
Hook me up.
I'll take it.
Like, shit, man. $20 is $20.
Fucking cold hard cash, baby. I'll take it. Whatever you want to know about the deep, dark depths of my mind, that's your business. You'll have to deal with that later.
Yeah.
I unlocked that shit for free. Anyways, so this next part here is how you doing over there?
Sorry, I'm just thinking about being part of a study and they're asking you questions and you tell them about the conspiracy theory about 9/11 and 2050.
Oh my god. Oh,
they would regret a study so quickly.
Oh, for sure. Because the amount of looks on those underpaid, even
like
if
research assistants,
Yeah, absolutely. It's just like, ooh, yikes. That would be some real red string moments there.
Right.
Speaking of red string. So this is not necessarily news. However, Sarah Gamble did mention that they have started production on season 3 of You.
Woo.
And the way that she announced that was by, obviously on Twitter, but she posted it by standing on a welcome mat. And I want this welcome mat so bad, Cody. I wish I was being hyperbolic, but I'm not. I want it so bad. It's this like it's not wood. That's not wood. What is that texture? I'm not from HGTV.
Yeah.
Is it corn? It looks like corn, but it's like
corn.
You know, the hard corn that you rub your feet on when you come from outside?
Yeah.
Whatever that stuff is. Anyways, it's a welcome mat and it just says hello you, but the U is like the television logo, so it has that like little fucking shift on it. I would buy this in a heartbeat.
It is pretty fresh, I will say that.
I love that. I love that.
Can we also talk about Sarah Gamble's Twitter icon real quick?
Yeah. Yeah, what's up?
I'm floored, to be honest.
The representation or
it just so quickly like transported me to like Nyan Cat era of internet, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's a unicorn vomiting a rainbow.
I feel like it's been that for as long as I can remember. Like, I don't know that she has changed her icon in a decade.
That's powerful. That's how I'm trying to be.
That's a strong brand right there, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, every time that I think about Sarah Gamble, like I think of one, Supernatural, and also that fucking icon image, which is haunting in and of itself.
Right.
So the last thing that I want to mention is just a quick little aside about Penn Badgley. I think the last episode, if I'm not mistaken, we talked about like his activism, like his attempts,
like women.
his like attempts. And I did want to mention that like there are other examples of him trying to like walk the talk.
Mm-hmm.
And so Pop Dust did an article kind of rounding up some of these things about, well, they say, here are all the times that Penn Badgley basically says he hates playing Joe on Netflix's You.
Top times Penn Badgley was a fucking hashtag feminist icon.
And the photo that they chose, listen.
Okay, this is hot.
The Scorpio energy coming off of this is making my face flush. It is so upsetting.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
even
sweaty,
like
just
beards.
looking at it.
I don't even like beards, and it is doing something powerful.
It's a very well-groomed beard, and his hair is, like, shorter, but it's still, like, long enough where it's like, ooh.
It's so upsetting to me.
And there's a weird reflection going on, which I'm very into. It just looks like he's a fucking ghost on his shoulder.
Yes. This is just a quick aside that is like a hashtag not spawn, obviously. One of my favorite podcasts, Thirst Aid Kit, recently, like just last week, did an episode about Penn Badgley. And so for folks that are listening, if you are interested in more like thirst specific content about Penn, since most of what we do here is just talk about how despicable Joe is, that is a really good opportunity. One, because I love that podcast, but also because it is relevant to what we are talking about here.
Hell yeah.
Are you ready to get into episode 7?
Boy, am I.
Ooh, are you though? So I don't know why more than usual I could not earlier today access what happened last week during the episode. I could not remember. And so when I was watching this, I was like, what is this tension? Like, why is everyone so angry? What's going on?
Yeah. Guys.
And then it occurred to me like, oh yeah, Love knows now. And also Delilah and Joe fucked last time.
Yeah. It was a jam-packed episode.
It was. There was a lot happening there, which I needed to recap apparently. This episode in particular gave off strong season 1 energy to me.
Yes. Yeah.
I
would
was
agree.
Especially because it follows a very similar plot line of last season, with Beck and Joe breaking up and then Karen Minty, and so I got a lot of nostalgia from that. But there are some very interesting like twists and turns in this one. One in the fact that Joe still doesn't know how to handle a breakup.
Yes.
Doesn't surprise me, but it's still annoying nonetheless. And also, Love is, like, angry now because she doesn't want Joe to, like, know, even though he knows where she lives, she doesn't want him to, like, be in the space. And so apparently she got curtains for the first time ever.
Yeah.
And as just a very, like, fuck you moment and not a, I don't want to have to keep heating my house this much kind of moment. And Joe is pissed that he cannot like directly spy on her anymore, which is a lot.
Yeah, love that.
I am constantly forgetting that he has that huge ass telescope, and so when they pan over to it, I'm just like, why is this here? There was surprisingly like a lot happening in this episode. Which I wasn't expecting. How, though, did you feel about Love's rebound?
Doesn't seem healthy or well thought out.
Weird that you would say that about a rebound.
Interesting. Yeah, as they tend to go. But especially this one, because it's a dude, he's like the friend of her ex.
So Milo is
yes.
who we're referring to.
Milo, yes.
This like
he's a large Australian influencer man.
Rich fucking Australian Hemsworth wannabe motherfucker.
Yes, yeah.
Dad owns Patagonia, like
yeah.
that kind of lifestyle.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what they mention in here is that one, this is not the first time that Love and Milo have hooked up. They are like
it's not a rando.
They are regular rebound fuck buddies. And two, this is what spices it up a little bit, is fucking Milo was James, her late husband's best friend.
Yeah, best friend.
Best friend.
Big no.
And so when James died, according to 40, which he ends up saying like later, as like a bitter moment, apparently they have just been fucking from the get.
Ooh,
it seems like
love.
It seemed like Milo was like attempting to like comfort her, and then it just seems like that went into comfort sex and has stayed that way for them.
Right.
Which is rough stuff.
Yeah.
It's a weird way to remember your husband and your best friend.
Yeah, a lot of fucking stuff going on in there.
It's no good.
Ooh.
But there's one of the things that I will say made me laugh in this is that Joe is like so bitter, first of all, that Love is happy on the outside anyways,
right.
with Milo. It doesn't help that they work in essentially 20 feet from each other.
Right. And they're just smooching all the time. Ugh, what a drag.
And he's like, Love, when she's upset, when she's emotionally hurting, she gets really basic.
Ugh.
And I, just died laughing because it's Joseph and he is the most basic of all. He, for someone who wants to be like super complicated and super deep, he's not. He like, someone quotes Hemingway to him later on in this episode and he like nuts on the table.
Like immediately. Yeah.
So,
and also we're acting as if he wasn't in love with Beck.
Right, exactly.
The basic queen of New York City.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
What? This is where your attraction lies, Joe.
And now, Joseph, you are in love with the same person, but in LA.
Right.
Hi, welcome
and
to
she's
Basic
a chef.
Spaces.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's so much. So one of the things that I did not expect from this episode, because like last time it was a lot of like Joe pouting and then him finding Karen Minty as a rebound. Yeah. This time though, they lean into this like fake dating app situation.
This is so good.
Tell me all of your thoughts about this.
So 40's like, you gotta get on some dating apps. And also Danny was like, we're not fucking anymore. You should fuck someone else. Get on some dating apps.
Oh, yeah. Delilah, too, was like, yeah.
Yeah, right. Delilah was like, this is over. Ellie thinks it's weird. I think it's weird. Let's stop.
Yeah, you're weird, dude.
Yeah, you're a weird dude. Get on some dating apps. Learn how to be single.
Right.
In Los Angeles. And so he he's like, I don't want to do regular dating apps because I'm not a fucking...
I'm not a regular man.
I'm not like other girls. My God. So he ends up downloading a literary-based dating app.
Yep.
Called Sonnet to Me.
The real... When I think of himbos, that's where they linger.
Listen, this is basically Bumble, if we're being honest, but like...
for real.
But it's like the whole... It looks like Goodreads. Like the icon is the same. It's fucking hilarious. And so he ends up going on all these dates at the same bar, if I'm not mistaken. He just takes each woman to the same place.
Because it's just like a super cut of them, and so they look like they're in the same spot.
Yeah. And it's fantastic, because Joe does not know how to talk to other people.
Oh, no.
And also other people are very fun.
Well, and these women are way more interesting than him.
Right. He's like, wait a minute, I'm not used to that.
Exactly.
I need to have power and control.
Because there's this,
and be smart.
There's this one woman who's like supposed to be this super narcissistic woman.
Yeah. I actually don't read, but I do want to date someone who does read.
Yes.
And he's like, I will throw myself off a bridge.
But then he does this stuff that's like, it makes no sense. So he's like, to this one girl too, he's like, let's take a picture. It's our first date. I'm going to post it on Instagram. I was like, what the fuck is that?
It's bananas behavior, first of all. And he hashtags it date night. It's like, Joe, I'm calling the police. You can't do this.
To me, it gave off very much here's my alibi. See, She was happy. I definitely won't kill her later. And it was like, Joseph, stop it. Stop, sir.
Something.
Oh, God. If I remember correctly, is there not a woman that just starts crying on
I was
date?
going to bring that up because I was like, I think Allie feels some sort of scene by this woman. Because she's great. I love her a lot. Because they start vibing a lot really early, and she's quoting Hemingway, and he's like, oh, a woman can be smart? Interesting. Let's see this through.
A cultured woman.
Interesting. You read the same books that I had to read in high school? Interesting.
Literally, yes.
I'll pursue this. And
oh my god.
As soon as he gives her any sort of, like, attention, she immediately just chugs this glass of wine.
I love only one woman.
Yeah, and he doesn't know how to react to that, so he's like, all right, I guess I'll drink too. Happy day.
Bottoms up.
Bottoms, lime. And she, over the course of this fucking, like, montage of bad dates, she just, like, starts sobbing uncontrollably.
I love this woman.
And it's so powerful.
To me, it gave off very strong, like, survival, like, fight or flight techniques. That this woman was like, ooh, I don't trust this man.
Yeah.
So, rather than, like...
don't really know how to get out of the situation.
Exactly.
And I'll ride it out, you know.
What is the scariest thing to this man other than just a woman crying? And he's like, oh, I can't kill this one. This one will be a tough fight. This is a good prey.
Yeah, it's pretty good. That's my president right there.
I love this woman.
This unnamed woman.
Yeah, we don't get a name ever, but she's powerful, and I enjoy her a lot.
Yeah.
Speaking of people that I enjoy a lot, so Joseph, throughout the course of this, is awful, which is that isn't the surprise.
What?
But he attempts to do what he did with Peach, of like, I'm gonna scope out this Milo motherfucker, without realizing that, like, Peach ran in Central Park. Fairly flat surface, fairly consistent. Milo, on the other hand, is yoked to the goddamn gods, so when he goes on a run, he goes up a fucking canyon. And Joseph can't handle that shit.
Just dude things, you know?
Just guys being dudes, you know?
Guys being dudes.
Just gonna go kick some rocks.
Yeah, because they're not gay.
Nope, they're not gay. But while Joseph is attempting to do this and struggling incredibly hard because he, one, can't run and also is really bad at crime, Gabe is also on this canyon because everyone in LA is on a canyon, and he's like, hi, sorry, can you leave Milo alone? Like, you and Love aren't together anymore. I don't understand what's happening. And then somehow, and I watched this episode, but I still don't know how, they go from that conversation where Gabe is incredibly suspicious of Joseph to then this, like, trauma crystal moment. And I don't get it.
Unreal. Like, Gabe is just like, listen, you're hurting or something.
Yep.
And for some reason, my allegiance is with you now, and I want to see you happy, even though I've been friends with Love for years, and I just met you 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
Like, whatever, but we're on this hike together, and this is it. So he's just like, I know what you can do. We'll do it real, like, true LA people. I'm not gonna say what they say, because I will burn in hell if I do. Yep. And he takes him to his place and just does a fucking crystal therapy ritual on him.
It's a lot.
Where Joe remembers, you know, his dad and, like, running, like, his mom wanting to take him away from him and, like, all of this fucking trauma shit. And he's, like, crying and getting needles stuck in his face, and Gabe's just like, la la la. Like,
it's a mood.
Yeah. It's like, why do you search for love in things? Why do you keep chasing love? And he keeps making love puns, which is very funny.
It's beautiful.
But maybe not the tone.
No.
And it's a hard pivot, and doesn't make a lick of sense.
Oh, no. No, it makes no sense. But it was something. I don't know what it was, but it was something. And then after this whole moment that seemed incredibly traumatic for Joseph, Gabe recommends that the best way to be able to come down from this trauma is a juice cleanse.
Am I right, ladies? Am I right? Was fucking Gwyneth Paltrow a script supervisor for this? Like, what the fuck happened, y'all?
Sometimes you just gotta do it to them, but in the form of just juice, you know?
You know when you're just, like, trying to overcome years of trauma that are instilled upon you?
Yep.
And you're just like, you know what'll really help?
It's
fucking
juice.
Celery.
Well, not celery juice, because Joseph is a sociopath, but juice, and you are exactly right, because that is what I've been saying on the show for years.
Yeah. This is your fucking scheme. You're like...
is juice helps trauma. So, like, fuck off, Gabe, because, like, a juice cleanse is nothing.
Right.
However, I have found, in my experience, juice helps, you know?
I just want to say for the record and for
Just
legal reasons, we cannot give medical advice and we are not licensed professionals.
No,
Do
bitch,
not use juice to cure your depression.
No, I am talking about a cup of orange juice, not drinking celery juice until you puke over someone in a beautiful, like, fucking shirt that they care about. Here's the thing I don't understand. Joseph has access, even if he is, like, being weird with love. Like, he has access to a full industrial kitchen.
Yeah.
Full produce. He works at a grocery store.
Right.
And he knows the people that work there. Like, he knows the people that own it. He could take whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
And he ends up just drinking celery juice. What is that? That's water. I don't understand.
Yeah. I think, though, even given all the unlimited options, I think he would just choose celery, because that's the kind of guy he is.
He's just a muncher. Do you think Joseph brings celery to the movies?
To the movies?
He gives off that vibe to me. I mean, Joseph doesn't go to the
what
movies.
What a specific vibe you've conjured.
Like, who the fuck out of all these juices just chooses straight celery? Most of the time, these come in, like, fucking blends, I think.
Right.
Anyways.
Yeah. It's not just raw celery.
It's not just celery stuck in water. Anyways. So that's a thing. Delilah, like, basically comes over and is like, hey, anyways, so fuck you. I'm writing this thing for Variety. I'm gonna be famous now. Also, where's your rent money? And Joseph can't handle strong women, so he pukes all over her.
Right. He's like, shit.
And it's because of the fact that he's been drinking only celery juice.
Of course.
It's just the nastiest shade of green.
Yeah.
Which is awful.
Something. It's putrid.
Yep. And my favorite thing is the logic that this TV show has, which is, hey, I know you've only had juice for a really long time, but the best thing that will help you in this moment is me ordering burgers and shakes and fries, because that will for sure stay in your stomach. That won't come up.
Your body's gonna love this. I think I'm in the camp that she just wanted it, and she was
agreed.
like, "You're also here." So
I'm like in your apartment now. You just like passed out. I guess I'll order you some.
Right.
Which is fair. Anyways, so there's a lot that like happens at the end of this episode. One, like, Milo and Love are doing the thing, and he's all like, hey, fuck Bolly, let's like do this thing together. And she's like, ooh, I just wanted that dick though.
Yeah.
I don't, no. And then Milo, because he's upset, has the nerve, well, because Love brings up this whole thing of, like, actually, well, I just feel like Fogarty's gonna relapse right now. And he
fucking ordered Taco Bell, god damn it.
Nope, Taco Bell's a sign, apparently, in this universe. Milo has the audacity to say that she is codependent with her twin brother, and that starts this, like, whole ass fight.
Which, again, was the fight that, or was one of the big fights that Joe and Love had.
Absolutely.
It's just like, love, I think these people are misguided and they're bad people, but they're also maybe
there's some truth to it.
Maybe you can just like look inside a little bit.
Right.
And see some other stuff going on.
Yeah, it was a lot. There was a lot of like macho dude energy that even like Love pointed out of like, hey, let's not do this, actually.
Because literally, they were just in the store, and it was, like, Milo and, like, Joe just, like, chest to chest. And, like, Milo spit on him.
This guy's being dudes,
and Forty was in the back, also just, like, super, like, clenched. Just, like, fucking let me at him. And Love is just like, guys, stop.
It was so much.
Yeah.
Okay, so Joseph and Delilah, after this whole thing of Delilah being like, well, actually, I don't want to deal with you anymore, they end up fucking outside
in an alleyway.
Yep. And so, of course, they get arrested. And because that's how it happens every single time, actually.
Right. Yeah.
You can't even think about sex out in public. You'll get arrested. It's how it works. I don't know if you know.
Sex has been outlawed.
It's how it works now. And so Delilah's like, oh, lol, it's fine. I know a cop. We fucked once. I'll just ask him to get me out. And then her, like, cop boyfriend sees Joseph and is like, no.
Right.
He's like, eat less.
I do love the idea, or the thought process behind, like, no, don't worry. I know we're getting arrested for having sex in public, but I did fuck someone in there. And he's gonna be, like, cool with it.
Yep. And
let us out. It's like, no, I don't think he's gonna be cool with you fucking someone else.
I love Delilah's logic, though.
I love
her
the
power.
thought pattern here. It was great. It's like you broke the two, like, roles in his he had in your life, which was 1, someone you fucked, and 2, law enforcement. And you broke both of those rules in one go. I don't think he's gonna be super cool with that.
Right, absolutely. Of course, though, like, Joseph ends up calling 40, and 40 knows people, and
it ends big shot fun. Hollywood guy.
Exactly. I don't remember how this ends up happening, but at the end of the episode, Delilah breaks into Joe's apartment.
Yeah, it's also, like, a blur. Because here's the thing, there was, like, a scene, right in between that where, the cop calls her.
Oh, yeah.
And is like, because he recognizes Joe at the police station. And she's like, yeah, he's my fucking neighbor. You probably saw him in the building. Fucking asshole.
And then he's like, the headphones.
Right. And so he calls her and he's like, no, this guy, I saw him at 4 a.m. on the same night that Henderson was murdered. And he had $600 headphones. This guy gets $12 an hour at a grocery store and lives in Los Angeles.
The math just doesn't work.
It's not adding up, okay? And so I think she, like, went in to investigate.
Right. That makes sense.
And ended up finding, like, the storage unit and everything.
Yeah, so she finds the storage unit key, and, like, you can't find a key without, like, finding the place. So, like, I get it. It's a new quest for her.
Yeah. She's a journalist.
She is. She's just doing her job. She goes to the storage unit. She finds the fucking glass box. And is instead, like, not, ooh, I'm gonna call 911. Is instead she goes into the glass box. Delilah. And then Joseph finds her and he's like, hey there, Delilah.
What's it like inside of my prison?
How's this glass box do ya? And that's the fucking that's where it just, like, stops.
Yeah.
Literally. It's so annoying. Why?
Yeah. Ooh. Can't wait for a kill to happen soon.
And that's the annoying thing, too, right? Is that, like, I had hoped in my heart, even
Did you have high hopes?
I had high hopes that I'd be able to meet Delilah in New York City. And now he's gonna do a hit, but like a big hit, like the bad hit.
Like a dead hit.
Wait, hold on, everyone shut up. Is Joe's glass box just like a big vending machine to him?
Oh my god.
It's all connected. Holy shit.
Wait,
I understand.
This is the most
now.
circular podcast. It's a perfect loop. You can go back to front. It's all the same.
It's like a TikTok, but like long. Hi, welcome to the podcast. Anyways.
This is how I explain podcasts to people. Born after
TikTok,
2005.
Anyways, so I'm curious to find out when we get to episode 8 next week. Should be buck wild.
Yeah, all these twists and turns.
Yeah. Speaking of twists and turns, let's talk about my favorite twists and turns, which are the financial kind from our patrons.
All right. Yeah.
Thank you. We did not actually plan for what we were going to do for our patrons this week, so I just threw it in Reductors because that's always a safe bet.
Oh,
for
faithful.
me.
Yeah.
A true savior
Yeah.
in dark times. Okay. Would you like to start?
Sure.
Great.
Shout out Rebecca Cullen.
Woo, woo. I just saw one really good. Go ahead.
Who's gonna be, friend on hike wants to keep going.
Oh, God. Kill me. Okay. Shout out to Elizabeth Swan.
Pew, 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 pew.
Who's gonna be breaking. Drama Tisha just swore.
Shout out Amy Taylor.
Pew, 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 pew.
Who's gonna be...
These are so good.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. Who's gonna be friend blames weird moon energy for lost AirPods again?
Honestly? Alright, shout out to Mulch Gray.
Yeah!
Thank you, Mulch. Who's gonna be man treats his sneakers with tenderness unknown to girlfriend. I love the quote on this one, too, that's like, she's a big girl. She can take care of herself.
Yeah. Shout out to Rebecca Steele.
Pew, pew, pew.
Who's gonna be woman's financial plan, just patiently waiting for her parents to die.
Holy shit. Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right. Shout out to Kelly Beck.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be... Woman hits 300th hour of wondering how underwater tunnels are built.
That's the plot of Underwater, actually, if you didn't see
Honestly,
it. That's it.
That's really it. That's all you missed.
Shout out to Taylor Brown Town Lautner
Pew, pew,
on
pew,
her
pew.
special birthday.
On her happy birthday. Pew.
On to Taylor Town, who's gonna be, I hate this city, says woman who only goes to 3 places.
Damn. All right. And shout out to Aaron Salinger, one of our $15 sponsors, who's gonna be, I'm not submissive. My thighs are just too weak to be on top.
Shout out to Sophia Salinger.
Pew, pew, pew.
Who's gonna be, wow, this woman just discovered Barada and now it's her entire worldview.
Oh my god. Fuck. Cody, please do not close this app.
I'm not. I didn't.
Okay. All right. Please tag yourself. Which one are you today?
Ooh. How to be in a room with a fireplace without getting distracted by how cool fire is.
Fuck, that was the one I was gonna choose. Damn it. Okay.
There's a lot of Scorpio energy in there, so I get
But
it.
it is. It's really cool. All right. Then I'm going to be is he hot or just wearing circle glasses?
Yeah, that's a big mood.
Because that really speaks to me personally. All right. I have a fan fiction for you today.
Thank God.
Otherwise, it would just be me just, like, going on my own monologue for a couple minutes here. It should be a lot.
Just gonna do a type 5.
And this is called He Believed in the Green Light. It was published by Saltgar. And it was published just over a month ago. And it is an AU to this episode of Season 2, Episode 7.
Okay.
So the summary is, he promised at the very start that LA would be different and he would keep a low profile. But already he's got the blood of 2 men on his hands, one of them being a major celebrity, an ex-girlfriend who works at the same mindfulness-centered, cruelty-free Angelino wet dream store as him, and he's on social media. What has this place done to him? So this is from Chapter 1, as a little AU to how this episode could have gone.
Okay.
All right. Is that what Milo is? Is he loves Karen Minty? Never mind. It doesn't matter. He should never have been in love. He should have never been with love in the first place. He should just stop obsessing, and although it hurts, let a good thing go. He picks up a box of pop psychology drivel to stock in the bookstore, and 40 is still following him. Does this guy ever give up? Okay, so, you know what we have to do now, right? He waves vaguely in Joe's direction, and Joe turns to give him a blank stare. What exactly does 40 think he has to do? Get high? Go on a bender? Hire an escort? 40 continues, exasperated. Get back on the horse. Start dating around. Show love how free and happy you're living. He smirks. She will hate that. I'm not really the vindictive type, Joe says, and she's not really the jealous type. Of course she isn't, because she's perfect. Oh, I'm sorry. Did the two of you share a womb? 40 snarks. Trust me, okay? She gets jealous. Now, let's set you up. He reaches towards Joe's back pocket and, what the fuck? Why did he take Joe's phone? Joe needs that back right now. Placing down the box of books on a nearby counter, he tries a distraction so he can grab his property back. 40, why are you helping me? I lied to your sister. I lied to you. I tangled you up in this Amy Candace mess. Before he can reach out for his phone, 40 drops the hand holding it to his side and places another compassionate hand on Joe's shoulder. Hey, as Shakespeare once said, bitches was crazy. You lied out of necessity, okay? That guy, he said, pointing to Milo and Love making pastries, is a pie-hunting snake in Tarzan's body, and I do not trust him. My gut says, you're good, he's bad, case dismissed. End scene.
Wow.
As Shakespeare once said, bitches was crazy.
Bitches was crazy.
You know, good old Willie Shakes.
Yeah.
That's how we do it sometimes, you know? Bitches was crazy. It'd be like that sometimes, I guess. In Joe's mind. I hate that. I hate Joe's mind.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get out of Joe's mind. As... Please.
Get me out of here.
Hey there, Delilah. Get me out of this box. As we say in Seattle.
Get bit.
Get whipped.
Ooh.
Pew.
This is an Earbud Media production. You can find us on Twitter at Earbud Media and listen to the rest of our shows. You can find this show on Twitter at Into the Twilight, as well as intothetwilight.show. You can send us an email at intothetwilightshow@gmail.com. You can also become a sponsor of the show or buy some merch at intothetwilight.bigcartel.com. Our art is done by Maddie Padilla, who you can find at YourGhostHost44 on Instagram, and our music is done by Eli Krause, who you can find at Eli Sauerkraus and KrausFilms.com. The intro and outro is by KB Smith, who you can find at KB__Smith on Twitter. You can find Allie on Twitter at Into Wild Places, and you can find me at Dyke Discourse. You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.